Okay. Put on. All right, I think we're good. Let's get this. All right. Okay, I think we're good. Ooh, it's been a while since I've been live. It's been almost like 2 weeks now. That is crazy. Okay, so we're gonna pop out the chat. Hope everyone's good. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. What time does it start? It starts in about 8 minutes. What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing today? The stream will be in 8 minutes. Yes, it will. What's up, guys? Almost was first. Almost. Hello, hello. Sean, what's up? Brooks, what's up? Warrior, Rise, Nerd Gamer, Morgan, Jay, Rogue, Jack, how's it going? Love your vids, man. Appreciate that, man. Donnie, how you doing, buddy? Let the ultimate hype week begin. Yes, sir. Leafy, how you doing? How's everyone doing, man? Hope you guys are all having a great Friday, man. Enjoying your Friday, hanging out, chilling. Dave, Willie, what's going on, guys? All right, guys. So what's going to happen today is today's going to be a little different. So can you increase the video dimension? Of course I can. Of course. We do something like that. Does that work? What's up, Suki? So I think today, guys, what we're gonna be doing is, I think what I'm gonna be doing is obviously I'm gonna be doing this. We're gonna talk about the dev stream. We're gonna watch it together. I'm gonna try and not interrupt it as much as I can. I may mute, and if I have to take some notes for you guys. And then I think after this, I think Miller messaged me and he wanted to know if we wanted to chat after. I don't know what time he wants to chat. I don't know if I'm gonna do it live on stream, just kind of talk about some things. That's still kind of in the air. I'll figure it out as I go, but we'll see how it goes. Thanks for the heads up yesterday. Not fine when the Dan thing was aired. No, you're good, JC. You're good, man. Yeah, they don't do it like their advertising for stuff like this is not really the greatest. It definitely is. It leaves a little bit to be desired sometimes when it comes to like the dev streams and stuff. To be fair, they've done a good job this week, kind of advertising the reassemble campaign playthroughs, but you're not the first one to message me or to leave a comment saying like, when is this happening? Where is this happening? You know, I can't find it. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, right? Okay. All right, man. So what are you guys expecting to see today? What kind of things do you want to see out of Hawkeye? What's everyone looking forward to from this one? Me personally, I think I've said this before. I'm not a big Hawkeye guy. So as long as he looks fun, I think I'm going to be just fine with it. But I know there's some people out there who are big Hawkeye fans, and I know they're looking for specifically like certain things. You know, what are you expecting for the Avengers Showcase event on the 18th? That's a great question, bruh. To be honest with you, I think it's up in the air for me personally, man. Jalen, what's going on? Cosmetics, that's a good one. Link me the Stardust vids. You know what I'm talking about. Shut up. Skins. So if we're talking specifically the 18th, I think the 18th is going to be I think the 18th is going to be twofold. You're going to get some sort of probably Black Panther announcement of on the 18th in a video, right? And then I think afterwards you'll probably have like a blog post or something more insular to the community itself to addresses like a roadmap or something. But I think if you're looking at the live stream event from Square Enix on the 18th, it's more than likely maybe a Black Panther, maybe a Captain Marvel. But I think the 18th is going to be like a big day for news in general because I think they're going to start talking about like what the future holds. I would think so. Want to see him with Cade to see the dynamic between them? Okay. Everything. You favor Hawkeye? Hawkeye's not my guy, man. Yo, Drifting, what's up, man? What's up, buddy? Have you seen the latest video? Yeah, I don't talk about it, Morgan. There's just content creators I don't talk about publicly, and that's just my stance on it. It's just yeah, there's just content creators I just don't talk about. I at least see more details about the Wastelands and Maestro. Okay, okay. Yo, my dude, love your podcast. Thank you for all you do. You're why I'm still invested in the game. Hey, Talius, man, or Talus. Yo, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. That means a lot. You know what? That means a lot. You fuck. You guys are too nice, man. I don't like him at all. Yeah, it's one of those things, Morgan, we just don't talk about. You know what I mean? It's totally cool. It's totally cool. New here, but love your vids. Someone who honestly prefers Kate to Clint. As long as Clint feels Clinty, if that makes sense, then I'm happy. Okay, Jake, no, that's fair, man. I think they're bringing on an animator today, and I think the goal of the animator, as well as Scott Walters, is going to be talking about the combat and how they're different from each other. So I think if you're someone who's worried about how Kate and Clint are going to feel very similar, I think ideally this stream will kind of, you know, rest those fears a little bit here, but we'll have to wait and see what else we get. I know Hannah is as well on this stream. Oh my god. So there's gonna be quite a bit covered in this one. I don't know how long this is. This might be an hour and a half because they might have a lot to go through, to be honest. Michael, what's going on, man? There's a few talks to people that lurk YouTube and Twitter. Yeah, it's whatever. It's whatever. No big deal. I was watching 90s X-Men to pass the time. I won't tell Stardust because Stardust actually doesn't like that one, Drifting. I've been craving something on Black Panther. It should be the 18th, man. Should be the 18th, Talus. Been a Hawkeye fan for most of my comic book reading life. Guy runs around with little gods with weapon design in the Paleolithic era. Oh my god, that's a word that gave me a brain twist right there. I mean, Hawkeye's cool, man. He's very cool. Like, obviously, like you said, like his weaponry is obviously a little outclassed by a lot of the stuff going on around him, but he always seems to hold his own. So that's what I mean. Like, there's a lot of people who do enjoy Hawkeye, and like for those people in particular, I hope today as well as the 18th really just crushes it. You know what I mean? Whatever they do, I just hope they confirm Scarlet Witch. That'd be cool, Wiz. That'd be cool. Definitely expecting Clint and Kate's sword attacks are going to be a bit samey, though, minus the teleport and the bows were too. Yeah, I think you're probably right on that one, Jake, that there is going to be a little bit of samey in the sword attacks, but I think in the bow stuff, yeah, it's going to be very different. You're right. I know this doesn't go with Hawkeye, but I'm hoping that Monica Rambeau join the game. Hey, you know what? Monica Rambeau has a lot of momentum behind her after her WandaVision. 90s X-Men is the pinnacle, though? I'm aware. Wait, what? Did I say something? I want to see what the real reveal they have planned on the 18th. Black Panther seems more probable. Yeah, Black Panther probably on the 18th. The way the tweet said, look to the skies, merely hoping we get Captain Marvel revealed to be in the game sooner. Yeah, I mean, the Danny Koo tweet. So if you guys aren't familiar with Danny, Danny is a production director. Let me pull him up for you guys. Okay. So Danny is a production, what's his title? Director production at Marvel Games. And so what did he say specifically? So he says, wondering what's coming to hashtag Marvel's Avengers. Watch the sky in 7 days. Hashtag what's next. I don't know. That does seem like a little Captain Marvel to me, right? What's your favorite skin they've shown for Hawkeye? Ronin. What? How does someone who calls themselves a comics fan not like 90s X-Men? Listen, I will go hard on Stardust this weekend in the podcast, and I'll ask him about it, all right? I won't let you guys down. You expect a reveal next Thursday? A lot of people just... No, I 100% expect a reveal next Thursday. Oh, shit, guys. Here we go. You guys are going to have to give me a volume check on this to make sure it's all good. No volume. Oh, what? Hold on. No volume? Just give me 1 sec here, guys. I should have probably checked this before. That's why. Okay. You guys should have volume now. Stardust is great. Yeah, Stardust is great. Look to this guy's potential meanings, though. Captain Marvel, Spidey, any character who can fly. I guess you're not wrong, Jake. Ronin skin is fire. I agree. I think it'd be cosmic based for the DLC. Drifting, that's not a bad guess, man. That's not a bad guess. All right, guys, here we go.
If everything you saw is true, the end of the world is far closer than we'd like.
In the future, we get attacked by a warrior race called Kree.
When will this Kree invasion take place, Clint?
Oh, no.
Clint! Don't die on me.
We were heroes, but we died as fools.
Where's Nick Fury? Something change. Who's the murder hobo? Katie?
Clint?
Oh, sorry, this is the trailer I think we've seen, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for next week, guys. I mean, just looking at this.
Coward.
Yeah, it's not one of those fun apocalypses.
Oh my god. Here, boy!
Clint!
I'll buy if they want easy money, they should sell it. True. Murder Hobo still cracks me up.
All right.
Oh, here we go, guys.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
Here we go.
Everybody.
How's it going?
Can you guys hear us?
You guys are gonna have to make sure you give me a
First
volume
off,
check
for
as well to
order
make
of
sure you
business,
can hear them.
We haven't had this many people on a stream in a while, so just want to make sure you guys can hear all 4 of us. Soon to be 5.
Soon to be 5.
Oh. Pushing the envelope of streaming.
Exactly. That's just what we like to do, you know, just try
Where's this
and
being
see
streamed
how
from?
much my desktop can handle. and
Twitch.tv
so far,
Crystal
it's
Dynamics.
been going pretty good.
Yeah, we can hear it. Okay, cool.
Streamer
cool,
kit. I know. Do you guys enjoy the Hawkeye-ness? The starting
Their voices
screen,
are a
the
little
border.
low.
We got it all. We're gonna put out the streamer kit in a few days before Hawkeye releases for you guys to use if you want to use it.
Are you doing a
but
recap post?
I like
Most
it a
likely
lot.
on the
I'm
weekend
sure you
with
guys like it too.
with Stardust.
All right. So we got a lot to talk about today. Got some new faces for you guys too. You know Phil, you know me, and you might know Scott, but this might be the first time you're seeing Scott, I think.
Yep.
So Scott, do you want to do a little intro?
Yeah.
Volume's good.
So
Appreciate
I'm
you
one
guys.
of the combat designers. on,
Hawkeye-ness, why is this
Marvel's
so
Avengers.
dorky? It's so fitting.
Make all the heroes do cool stuff.
Nice. And we'll
No,
talk to
it's just
Scott
Phil's
about
voice?
just
Okay.
Hawkeye and combat and everything. He's gonna go through with it. Go through with us with it. Now we have AJ.
Go full
AJ, you
screen.
want to do a little introduction?
All right.
Sure. Hello. I'm AJ Gartmeyer. I am one of the animators on the Avengers project. Specifically, I work on the pet team with Swalters, Scott there, and we are responsible for all the heroes.
Please get to
that
the
you
good
play.
stuff. They will, Danny.
Awesome. We're gonna talk to AJ about.
They're gonna get to all the good
animation,
stuff
some
today about
behind-the-scenes
Hawkeye.
stuff. Any questions about animation overall you guys have for Scott on the combat side and AJ on the animation side? Let us know. I've seen Scott's beautiful face in the pro tips videos. Says Riffian. That is true. You,
I can't keep track of all this chat, but yeah.
it is a lot of chat. We got some moderators in chat. I think I see Sonic and Calyx, and I think Layla's going to be in there too. And then we.
Alex was on time, by the way.
Phil needs to speak up.
He didn't show up late.
Oh, he's on. You're late.
Yeah,
Calyx?
Phil is very
He was
quiet.
on time.
I was going to give it up.
I'm pointing out that he was here early.
Oh, that's true. Calyx is amazing. He's always here early. We are going to have Nicole joining us later. She has like a meeting right now, so
Oh,
she'll
these
join us later
alternate
to talk
Hawkeyes
about
can't
narrative,
play
but
us
for
in?
now, you guys
Ooh.
are stuck with us for.
That'd be nice.
Let's actually just get to it. You guys ready to see some Hawkeye gameplay?
Yeah.
This is all on PS5, by the way, as well.
All right, here we go.
All right. So,
Phil
here I
don't got
am. Here's
headphones? Yeah,
Hawkeye.
I know, honestly.
before
Phil.
we start,
Get it
we're
together,
gonna
man.
hover over all the skills, but an overall inspiration thing from you, Scott. What was your inspiration in building Hawkeye's kit?
So we pulled from a lot of different sources. You know, we've talked about it, especially in the narrative side of things, of the Matt Fraction run, My Life as a Weapon, and stuff like that. But we just really wanted to make sure that, you know, Hawkeye was representative of what you'd expect, whether you're an MCU fan or a comic fan, or whether you watch the Saturday morning cartoons, you know, or played him in other games.
Appreciate you,
So we wanted
Free.
to make sure his bow was obviously center stage, and then we brought in obviously the sword combat. A lot of that is inspired from, you know, his period as Ronin. So you can see that Phil's sort of doing his light combos. Similar to Kate, he's got the ability to swap to bow shots if you hold down light or heavy attack. We definitely tried to push the bow usage even more on Hawkeye compared to Kate. So he's got even larger arsenal of arrows to use, and fun and interesting ways that those kind of combo together. So
Nice. So let's just go into his skills and let's discuss each and every single one of them. So like you said, his light skills, there's combos to it, but there's also arrows attached to it. So Implosion Arrow.
yeah, so the implosion arrow is sort of a quick way, if you're in melee combat, to sort of gain some space, and draw enemies into a cluster. There's a lot of ways that he can capitalize on that, whether that's switching back to sword combat or using some of his other arrows in his arsenal. So it's just think of it as a mini version of a Kate Singularity. It's just meant to draw in some of the smaller enemies towards a single focus point.
Nice. And then Ascending Slash.
So a lot of the other light skills are traversal related or meant to set up interesting sort of reactions for combos. A lot of them either play into comboing for additional melee attacks. So the Ascending Slash, for example, launches the enemy, takes them off their feet for some of the weaker enemies. So you can sort of juggle them and bounce them around. You can switch to the arrows at that point too. So using those to attack enemies that are sort of weakened, you can juggle them with the range combat as well.
Nice. And you can do the Implosion Arrows in the air as well for that.
Yep.
Split Shot Arrow.
So Split Shot Arrow was one that we were looking at some interesting ideas for some of his arrows, and we've seen this in some of the comics and in some of the movie references, where he can fire an arrow and have it split into multiple projectiles. So this one basically fires out, and if you don't have a melee target or like a melee lock, so you don't click in on the sticks or whatever, each one will sort of go to a different target, but you can focus them in on a single target if you lock onto them first. And it's mostly just a way to break through, block on some enemies, or just sort of affect a large crowd. The air version of that actually fires two arrows, so you get sort of increased number of projectiles.
Nice. And this is one of my favorites, Bag of Tricks.
Yeah, so early on, I really wanted to showcase sort of a wide arsenal of arrows in ways that weren't just switching back and forth on the D-pad or switching to the range stuff. So for that, we had follow-up moves that basically alternated between other arrows in this kit. So after doing the split shot to hit enemies, he fires the tripwire arrow, which sort of knocks them on the ground, and then he fires a charged pulsar arrow, which creates a big explosion on impact, and then he fires just a massive amount of split shot arrows at the end. So it's really good for crowd control.
Nice. And then this is just like some more sword skills from his heavy, right? Oh,
yeah. So most of those, there's the two traversals, the evade and the sprint. And those are meant to be, again, more sword focused. Either breaking through guard or doing increased damage. And so like the unstoppable blade will spin them around, so you can sort of capitalize and get the backstab or the increased crit chance from behind. But the suspension arrow is one that we again wanted to create arrows being interplayed throughout his melee combo, and so this is his heavy combo finisher, chained off the light attack, and this one will launch enemies up into the air and sort of juggle them in the air. So in the little tip video there, those are frenzies, so they're a little bit weaker, but you can juggle like some of the riot bots with the shields and stuff like that, and so that'll actually let you attack them with arrows sort of while they're suspended.
I love this one. This is super fun to see in actual combat and everything.
That is really cool.
Yeah, and so this is the air version of the split shot, so it fires two of the arrows for increased projectiles.
Nice. And then this is a bunch of arrow types, basically. So can you explain to us cluster arrows and all of its upgrades?
Yeah, so like Kate, he has 3 different arrows that he can, aim and shoot with, and you can swap between those on the D-pad. Cluster arrows are one arrow type. We wanted these to be heavy hitting, arrows that would stagger the target or knock them back a little bit, similar to something that you would actually hit, like his sword heavy attacks, for example. So they're kind of slow firing. They're very narrow focused. They're meant to be, used on a single target. Whereas the tripwire shot sort of is the charged version. And like a lot of our ranged power attacks, we, up the damage, up the impact. We use those to break through shields. And this version, it's specifically meant to either knock down or push back enemies. So for the guys with the shields, right, you're just going to sort of break their guard. But if there's anyone that isn't defending against it, you'll sort of knock them onto their off their feet. And then for some of the stronger enemies, it'll just sort of stagger and push them back a little bit. But it has a wider arc, which you can upgrade through some of the other skills.
Nice. And then razor arrows are perfect draw.
Yeah, so this is basically the same as Kate. We wanted to have that through line between the two archers of a standard arrow and the perfect draw shot to sort of emphasize the archer's skill. So you have a 3-shot combo that you can fire them pretty quickly, but if you measure your shot and release at the right time, you get the damage and the impact bonus and the increased crit chance. And you can see that with the sort of indicator on the reticle there on when to release. And then for the charged version of that, we did alternate from that, actually. So while Kate has the ability to fire a disruptor arrow, which increases crit chance on the target, we went with a different skill for Hawkeye, which is Deadeye. It's not a different arrow so much as it's more of an innate ability that he has to focus and pinpoint his shot on a target. And so as he, aims at the target, once he's got that fully drawn, he builds up a charge level on the target with the intent of he's going to get that perfect shot. So each charge level that you build up on the target will increase the damage. It'll increase the reaction. So if you really focus in on that target, you can knock them off their feet and send them flying, or it can be as quick as just a quick guard break. So.
Nice. And you really feel this one with the PS5 haptics, by the way.
Yeah.
It actually feels like you're drawing a bow for that.
Yeah.
And those are arrows.
Yeah. So our not necessarily our last arrow type, but the third option on the wheel there is the pulsar arrows. And so we wanted an explosive arrow, but we didn't want it to be just the same thing as Kate. And so we looked at ways that we can make that feel different and unique. And for that, it was using the, Stark Tech's pulsar energy explosions. And so when you fire the arrow, it can build up a charge of energy over time. And that's indicated by the blinking light on the arrow. So by default, it's, it starts off as blue and then it'll go to yellow. And then once you get the final upgrade, you can have it go to red. And each time it hits a different tier, you can remote trigger that detonation and you'll get a bigger explosion. Unlike Kate's, you can't shoot it to trigger it, so you do have to fire the arrow and then manually trigger the detonation, or there's a timeout on it that'll eventually trigger. But and then we have an upgrade for it that allows it to pin targets. So if you really just want to stick a target to a wall or a floor or whatever, you can do that, and then that arrow will just kind of build up, and then you can either leave it and it'll blow up on its own, or you can trigger it. These are really good if you want to either quickly break through shields, or if you want to juggle the target. You can actually use that to sort of open them up and then switch to other arrows, or hit them with one of those and then launch them in the air and then remote detonate that while they're in the air to sort of keep them in the air and suspended. So
nice. I will try to do that. Yeah. So his intrinsics, there's a lot going on with it, but there's a few arrow types. Can you just talk about all these at once, I guess?
Yeah. So his intrinsic ability, focuses on his sort of senses for the environment and being able to quickly dodge enemies. So that's sort of how he blocks, is he'll dodge attacks and sort of sidestep them. But if you time it correctly, you'll sort of get a quick draw shot there. It's just a normal arrow, but it's meant to sort of stagger and open the enemy up. You can follow that up with a disruptor arrow. So that's an arrow we saw in Kate's kit. He sort of physically jams the arrow in to debuff the target. And then he's got a rocket arrow as another follow-up, which that one's the bottom on the list there. And that one basically just attaches a rocket, right? Or it's an arrow that attaches a rocket to the target that will sort of send them and push them back. And so you can use that to create distance and push back enemies that might be a little bit tougher if you don't want to engage with melee. And then for its intrinsic attacks, we sort of have two arrows. One of them is the grapple arrow, which you see inside his traversal. We use that as an offensive capability. So, that's the R2 and triangle, or R2 and heavy attack. And that just launches the grapple arrow and quickly reels into the target, where he can then juggle the target in the air. So he's got a follow-up upgrade to that. And then his light intrinsic attack is the Boomerang Arrow. So if you're a fan of the comics, you might recognize this one. There's actually a whole segment with him and Kate, and he's sort of trying to convince Kate that the Boomerang Arrow is the best arrow because it comes back.
Respects it, basically.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to incorporate that into his moveset. So, when you fire that arrow, it goes out and it comes back. And it'll hit one target for sure. It can hit other ones if it's in its path. It doesn't specifically seek out to do that, but there is an upgrade specifically for timing the second shot at the right time. So as soon as you catch the arrow, if you trigger it again, he fires out an arrow that will actually seek out multiple targets. Kind of like Cap's shield kick, if you're familiar with that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just another one of those, and he does it with style, right? He's not looking at the shot.
Oh, yeah, love it.
He's basically like, I know where all the targets are. I have perfect mastery over the shot. I'm gonna fire it, and it's just gonna hit a bunch of targets.
Classic Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's move on to his heroics, which are really cool. Recovery Arrow.
Yep. So again, we definitely won't double down on the arrows here. So his support heroic is the recovery arrow. It basically fires down an arrow that's filled with nanites. Those nanites or nanobots will go out and sort of heal and recover willpower on the heroes. And you can upgrade that to increase the duration, remove and prevent status effects. And then there are a few other options to either debuff the enemies or make it so they trigger more or have a higher chance of triggering or dropping orbs when you kill them. So heroic orbs, intrinsic orbs, that sort of thing.
So it's a really good support skill for people that are looking for more like healing, basically.
Yeah, especially if you're playing a mission with a lot of enemies that trigger status effects. So like if you're going to the Siberia, for example, and everyone, you're constantly getting frozen, right? If he fires that down, it'll instantly break everyone out of frozen. It'll prevent that status from being built up on the heroes. So it's a really good one to use if you're holding down a point or just dealing with anything like that.
Crocono asks if you can aim this recovery arrow at a player. The answer is no, right?
No. Yeah, that one is meant to be area of effect. So you really want to position yourself for optimal use. We played around with some of the different aiming options for some of these, and some of them worked better than others. For this one, we wanted positioning to be, kind of key. The next up is the Nightstorm Arrow. That's our assault heroic, and this is kind of a classic rain of arrows with a bit of a twist. So the basic version sort of fires out explosive projectiles that will bounce and hit targets. But the real area of where this shines is sort of that specialization tree on the left there. So it's Nightstorm arrows for a reason. This one is very focused on area control and element and status effects. So he's got 3 different options for this. The first is Ion Surge, which does shock damage. It actually rains down like bolts of lightning, and those will actually trigger a secondary hit on the ground. So this one's sort of the best version for damage in terms of DPS. He's got Hailstorm, which is cryo based. So this one actually leaves behind sort of a cryo hazard on the ground, like it's a cloud of frost that you'll see as the projectiles rain down. So this is really good for slowing enemies and just damaging them that way. And then the last one is, I believe it's called Fire Devil.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. So this one we looked for an option that was sort of like a nuke, just fire and forget. And this one creates that fire tornado, and it actually launches and juggles the enemies up into the air. So you can use that to sort of push enemies up, and then you can pick them off while they're getting bounced around.
Nice. And then this other specialization is it increases the size and things like that, right?
Yeah, there's some modifiers on that. So it's stuff that increases the size of it, so you can either affect a larger area or increases the duration. So you can, if you just want to lock down a smaller target area for longer, you can use that. And then this heroic is also really good for building or building up heroic charge in general. So enemies defeated by it will have a chance to drop heroic orbs. So it's really good if you actually want to use this to sort of charge up your other heroics. You want to sort of place that for the most optimal effect. And those drop also for your allies. So you can use it kind of in a support function too.
And last but not least, his ultimate heroic.
Yeah, so the Hunter's Arrow is sort of that fire and forget AI tracking arrow. So this is, heavily tech-based, but he basically fires this out and it just seeks targets. And it does a cool, meandering trail while it looks for targets. Most of the upgrades are based on, getting increased number of hits. We have a few specialization options. So the Twin Talons, basically you get to shoot 2 of them. They have shock damage, so it's sort of like the ultimate battlefield control of like if you just want to send those out and disrupt a bunch of targets. That's really the way to go. We have
Dive bomb.
Yeah, the dive bomb. So the dive bomb one will attach an explosive charge, and so you can see that little indicator on the targets, and those can be triggered. It's we call it an impact charge. So any hit will trigger that. So you can punch them, you can shoot them. Doesn't have to be you. It could be your allies, and that explosion just sort of launches them. So it's another good way to extend the combo and keep them sort of juggled in the air. The Hunter's Arrow also does try and hit other targets when it goes out, so it will try and avoid hitting the same target if there's another target it can hit, and that just means that if there's a few number, you're going to sort of hit the same ones, and that'll actually trigger the explosion, so you can see it sort of build up damage that way. But Marked Prey is basically changes the functionality for that. So, and it doesn't really change what the arrow does so much as it lets you focus in on a target. So if you really want to use this against bosses, for example, you want to select this option, because if you aim at the boss or if you're attacking with melee or ranged attacks, it'll try and prioritize that single target as opposed to trying to go for other targets. So that's the best way to like focus your damage. I don't think the tip video shows it, but yeah, you can just aim with your bow. You don't even have to shoot, and it'll just kind of keep going to that same target.
Nice. So that's like a good overview of all the skills. We're not gonna get into the mastery, guys. That's for you guys to explore. Less than a week, not very far away.
Guys,
but
oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna start playing now. Phil, I'm gonna let you take it from here because I have a hard time talking and playing at the same time.
Oh my god.
Talk to Scott, talk to AJ.
You guys see how sick he looks? He looks amazing. Are you guys serious right now?
I'm going to the harm room.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Clint looks amazing.
I am.
Show some cool stuff.
I am. It's gonna be
Once again, the combat design team is carrying the game.
We could showcase some of
Crazy.
that stuff. I'm sorry, I know my voice is low, guys. I'm trying to fix it. Then it's
Honestly, Hawkeye looks amazing.
I'll try to just talk a lot louder.
Sometimes I can barely hear you, but I'm gonna just continue saying like, yes, sure, Phil, exactly.
Andy, I think they exploded your screens on the stream.
Are they going to the wasteland after this?
Cropping of all of our pictures.
Did it really? Oh no!
We had Nicole join us. So
Oh, we have Nicole join
Fire
us.
tornadoes for
Okay.
me.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Think that we had to wait a month. Now it's a week away. It's
Let
crazy, eh?
me. There we go.
About that, I was just gonna kind of.
His sword combat is different from Kate's. True.
There you go, Nicole. You ruined everything.
That fire tornado is so good.
That's okay.
Yeah, nobody wants to see our faces anyway.
No, we can just remove that. So.
So, all right. Well, let's talk about some of this stuff.
Oh.
we heard a lot about the gameplay from Scott, but we have AJ, the legend. AJ, dude, like inspiration for Hawkeye, like mocap, all the fun stuff. Like, what did you guys do? Tell me all the deets.
All the deets. Oh man, I mean, you got to take it from like the top down because
The
we had Kate
Firestorm era
first,
is so
and then you
dope.
come out.
Yeah, we can talk about
with
Spider-Man after,
Hawkeye.
guys.
So we have
There's
we have
there's
two
lots of
archers,
things to talk about
essentially,
Spider-Man.
right? And
I just don't
both
want to
with
miss any of
swords, so
this
there's-
stuff
There's
too.
obviously similarities there, but yeah, you know, we had to sit there and really figure out how to make them different. So when it came to mocap specifically, it was obviously a different actor because we hire, you know, professional stunt actors to come in. And hold on one sec. Let me say bye to my kid. Give me a sec.
Aw.
Bye.
Bye.
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, AJ's kid.
Any news on MCU
but yeah,
skins?
we had to
Nothing
go- we
yet,
had
Spider-Man.
actor, so obviously it feels different.
Fire Tornado looks like a
and
move.
then, yeah,
I
it
imagine
just
Doctor
comes
Strange. I
down
have to be
what
honest
we
about
wanna do with
awesome
the
that Clint has it.
attacks and all
True.
that kind of stuff. But it's finding a solid actor who can kind of, I think, hold that tone of the character, so to speak. And then we obviously do a lot of work on
So
our end,
cool.
where we blend keyframing into our mocap animation because mocap in a melee game isn't going to feel as responsive as you would want it to. So
Like for people that are playing, like what's the big difference between Clint and Kate? Like what are they gonna see like that you guys actually?
Is the dog actually going to help Clint? I don't think so, Sean.
right, so I think
but I'm
with
not
Clint,
sure.
or with Hawkeye, sorry, I never know what to call him. You're going to see a more trained individual. He's more controlled, surgical. I think is a really good word for him. Like Kate gets a little wild with her swings, like going one-handed and stuff, and I think that's cool. It fit her. It also lends itself to wide arcs. But like Clint still has arcs, but they're more forward. There's more power there. So you feel that when you play him. It's kind of like leaning into Kenjutsu, I believe, is the technique that we kind of use there. And Ben Stanton, one of our principal animators, was really big into that. Like, let's try and push this here to create a style difference between their two sword techniques.
Okay.
Specifically.
So definitely some sword differences in their play, which we noted earlier.
When he's doing his strikes, he's holding sword with two hands. It definitely looks more deliberate. And it's those small details I think that are really key in making the characters feel different.
Come on, hit that mastery page.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
Do
worth
it.
noting also,
Oh, darn
none
it.
of the animations that you see on Hawkeye were used for Kate. There's literally none. So while obviously there's similarities, so people will say, which is obvious, like, oh, it's a
Why the
clone, or
Harmon
it's
says
this or
assault?
that.
Wait, where does it say
is not.
assault?
I mean, they both have bows, they have swords, so there's similarities there. Can't get away from that. But functionally, and when you're playing them, they feel way different. And to Scott's previous point, his array of arrows is crazy. So it's different.
We've seen it. I mean, fire, ice, lightning. I mean,
Exactly.
The seeking arrow. I mean, it's definitely feels different, and it's certainly tricky when you're doing like two archers back to back, right? So,
Exactly.
Like, he's done a great job.
I think it's also worth mentioning his intrinsic, right? Like Kate's all about blinking and teleporting, which is super dope, and we all love it. Hawkeye, he doesn't get to blink, unfortunately. I'm sorry,
Aw.
but you know, I know. Okay, not everyone can blink.
Traversal, Andy, show him Hawkeye.
But we leaned into the bow more for his intrinsic, so it's well, like Scott said, man. I mean, keep in mind, Scott and I work together every day, so we'll echo the same things, but we really leaned into the bow. Like, that's what he's all about. Let's see what we can do with this.
Yeah, that's Clint's grapple.
Yeah, the grapple's a lot of fun, actually.
All right, my bad, guys.
All right, Andy. Heroics. There you go.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going.
Andy, you're destroying
Oh, assault. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
You know what? That's my thing. I just like to
Oh, that's
destroy
interesting.
things. You know.
Might be. So this is obviously part of the March 18th build. So it could be, you know.
But yeah, the entire combat team.
Anyone else see the diamonds on the
think
enemies or know what they
I think
are?
we're a very iterative team. I'm sure Scott can.
You
speak
mean
to
like
this as
right
well,
above their
but it's
heads? That's just to
very-
show like how
I
many are
mean,
left.
We have plans, obviously. We have to do that, but there's a very iterative and organic process to finding like what feels right.
What's your thoughts?
what
He looks
works
better and
where.
different from Kate than
And
dude.
that's like the
Clint
most
looks
fun of
amazing,
the whole
man.
thing.
He
It's just
looks
bouncing off Scott, Scott
unreal.
bouncing off me, and just seamless.
Unreal.
essentially.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to read chat and respond to a few questions.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
With the
for
combat,
the
each time we
marking?
make a
Oh,
hero,
is
you
that
know,
different from the one where you
we're
hit up
obviously
on the
building on a
D-pad?
foundation that's kind of similar, so it's not completely different when you go between heroes, right?
Oh,
You
it
know,
might
light
be.
attack's
It
still
might
gonna
be
light
different from the
attack.
one you hit on D-pad, and then it shows you the enemies
that
that
sort
are
of thing.
left.
But yeah, we definitely want to
Buddy could be right.
showcase
Buddy
the
could be right.
hero's, you know, character that people expect in a lot of their moveset, and find, you know, ways to
Think they'll show
differentiate
skins?
and make
Hopefully.
each one feel unique. And that includes a lot of iteration. You know, sometimes we'll have certain ideas and we'll play with it. Like, I think someone had mentioned, like, can you aim the support
It's
hero?
new?
I think
Okay,
we
okay.
tried a
My fault,
version
my
of
fault.
that, and, you know,
With
there
both
were,
Widow and
there were
Clint
times
use their
where
grapples
that
and
was
combat
good,
basically
and
kind of think
other times
Spider-Man
where
with
that
web
just
strike
didn't
similar to
feel
that.
that
It's
great,
good. That's good
because, like, you
observation,
were
Jake.
shooting it over to
a great
one
observation.
person, like,
Yep.
you know, or
What if he
you
has a
could
boxing
miss
club
and it could
arrow?
go somewhere where you didn't
Yo, what's
want
up,
it to
J-Rob?
go.
How you doing, buddy? How's your
You
Friday
know,
going, bro?
And with the version that we have,
They show up if you hit
right
up on
now,
the
like,
D-pad. Okay,
obviously
okay.
That just worked and played better than the AIM version, especially with the upgrades that it has.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's also, in complete transparency, I don't think I'll get in trouble for this, but I'm doing it anyways. I don't care. Hawkeye was originally slated to be like a complete clone, like literally of Kate, a complete clone, which after we thought about that for more than a second, we're like, that's a disservice to this character. It's a disservice to our players, obviously.
I can't believe they admit
I think
that.
it's those type of philosophies as we
I
move
guess because,
forward,
like,
just
how good he
really
looks, they can't
acknowledging
admit that,
the heroes,
but-
the characters, what they mean to everybody,
Oh,
and making sure that we're
jeez.
proud of them every time we release one.
It's good. How's yours? Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Do you think they, since it lowered the XP power now, we have to grind even harder to get the power up? Do you think once we get to 50, we get better gear and tuning is going to be random? I think... Hold on, I can't hear Phil.
Sorry, what was that, Phil?
They want to know if we're going to add bios for the heroes.
Bios?
Yeah,
Um,
background.
Like
You'll have to
in-game
grind
bios, we
more,
don't have
but
specific bios, but we
depending
can
on how
document
hard
sets
you
for
grind,
each of the heroes,
I mean,
so
it's
you'll
like 3 to
see
5
if
hours.
they
I think by the
release
time
new
you hit
documents
50, you're going to be
that
more
gives
in
you
line
a
with like a
little bit
higher
more
power level than like...
information about what she was up to after
you know?
A-Day and before we catch up to her in the Taking Aim story. Clint has that as well.
Sad
so
green arrow
that's kind
noises.
of our placeholder instead of bios. It gives you a little bit more of their background and insight that, you know, wouldn't really fit into the Future Imperfect campaign itself. But hopefully you guys like those. But we can consider bios as well.
They made the right decision. And honestly, I'm glad they're being honest. Yeah, I mean, that is something I wouldn't expect them to admit. But I think knowing like how good Clint looks, they're like, yeah, fuck
Phil
it.
is
We
still
could say
addressing
it.
the
Why not?
microphone.
You know?
Is he?
I was tweeting you. Oh, my bad, Game Cat. My bad.
And tell if he's talking.
Sometimes I can't hear Phil. I don't know if he's talking sometimes.
I don't think anyone can hear Phil.
Might be talking. I don't know.
Phil?
Okay, can you guys hear me better
Oh,
now?
whoa.
Wow.
Whoa.
It's your beautiful voice, Phil.
Bam. I am back.
You're back. How does it feel to be back?
Well, I was trying to be all fancy with my other microphone, but apparently I have no idea what I'm doing as usual. You know, if you are familiar with microphones and or streaming, please come to my house. No, don't come to my house. I regret what I said.
Go to Phil's house, everyone. He
You
wants
sure
it.
about that, Phil? And I just want to give all of you guys just props for how cool Hawkeye is, because I'm.
I wish with the
watching
Engine
him
Con to
now,
make up for the
just
grind.
looking
Most people
to
the wrong way
play
they
him
do that
again.
instead of implementing things like an
He's so
emo
fun.
wheel. I think it comes down to like
Scott,
like-
actually, we didn't really talk about this, but
Hold on. I
all
can
of the
answer that,
combat
though,
was
J-Rob.
basically retuned for the haptic feedback on PS5, right?
Yeah, so one of our other combat designers has been going through Vince. You know, he's really big on the feedback and haptics. So he's been going in and tuning it to make, you know, all the different weapons feel different, not just for Hawkeye, but for Kate, for Iron Man, for Widow, pretty much the whole roster, to make, you know, when you swap between weapons on the D-pad, to make those feel different, to make,
click it.
you know, pistols
Click
feel
it.
different from repulsors, that sort of thing. So we're definitely looking to make sure that we'll take full advantage of the haptic feedback in the new PS5 controller.
Nice.
Click it.
Since we have Nicole here, actually, and we're gonna go to the future wastelands, everyone. If We're no
Okay,
spoilers.
okay.
We're not playing the actual operation. We don't want to do that. We want you guys to explore that yourself. But we are still going to the future wastelands to just.
Well, are we sure that people want to see the Wasteland
Actually,
though? Like,
yeah,
I mean, I was
yeah.
pitching that, but I mean, maybe nobody wants to see Wastelands. Do you guys
No.
want to see Wastelands at all? Are you interested in that stuff?
Yeah. Do you want to go or
Or
do you want to
what-
explore it yourself? This is an honest question.
Or should we go back to the same harm room we've been in that showcases absolutely nothing new?
You know,
Hey.
you really sold that.
It's a question. AJ, it's an honest
honest
Click
question.
it.
question.
Click it.
Look, an honest question, you know.
Most people are saying yes. Some people are saying no, though. But if you don't want to see it, you know, avert
Please
your
tell me
eyes.
we'll see more new
'cause
villains
we are
in
gonna go.
future
This is happening.
Imperfect? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
In
Afterwards,
slow mode. Oh
all
my
right,
word.
guys, this might be
Okay.
spoiler
Minimize the
territory.
window and still listen to our voices.
Elimination threat
I think it's
sector.
already in
Now that I
slow
have-
mode. Yeah, our chat's
think you're
already in
right.
slow
Avengers are
mode.
tasked to investigate and extract any information. Okay. Let's see
So
this.
Go ahead, Phil.
I was just gonna say we're gonna show you a threat sector. So this is one of the farmable levels that
Okay.
you're gonna have with the Clint release. And you know, no spoilers, but you can read the description if you're really into it. It's pretty neat. I mean, it showcases a new biome. So
All right, let's
let's
see
take
it.
a look.
Let's see it.
And we're going into the
Dude,
future
I'm
wastelands, which is a
hyped.
huge
Let's
part of
go,
the
man.
narrative.
This is
let's,
so
let's
good.
Let's talk to Nicole about
You
the
guys are just gonna
narrative.
Spoil so many things.
I'll talk about it, but without talking about it.
There we
What's
go.
that
I
to
think that's
the
the
left?
best way
I
to
didn't
do
see it, Michael.
No,
So,
I meant in the wasteland.
oh. If you guys care about spoiler, I mean,
Our
there's a.
writer, our
Yeah.
writer Keanu is telling us saying, "I cry inside."
Look at that background.
So, Phil, how about you talk to Nicole about the narrative
This
a little
looks
bit?
so good.
So, okay, yeah, because we have to make this not spoilery. We're already
Yeah.
probably not. Like, so look, just to be legit, we're probably not supposed to even be in this level. So,
Probably not.
but this is happening anyways. We peer pressured Andy to doing it. So for Andy's bosses, this is my fault, and for the rest of you, this is my fault. Wink, wink. Okay, seriously though, some of the small touches we did in here. It's like we made the enemies look different. Not that they're different enemies, because it's the same as the same ones. I know we need to add more, and we are doing it. But Nicole, do you want to talk a little bit about what we did different for the enemies, just to give them some flavor here?
Yeah, so in the least spoilery way I can figure out to talk about this, basically,
Man,
what we're seeing is
like the Sentry's hand.
future after the events that we saw in the end of TPP. So when we saw like the upcoming Kree invasion, this is after that.
Would it
So
be fair to say that that invasion went poorly for
Yes.
people?
It didn't go well.
It did not.
At
Hence,
all.
hence the wasteland. So, but I mean, you're gonna be seeing like remnants of aim, remnants of shield. Like, I mean, we lost. Like that fight did not go well. So,
Yes, it's all kind of like the aimbots are just kind of carrying out old protocols,
Okay.
and they're gonna keep fighting you, but they're not really given any new orders.
so this facility here, for example, like it's all busted on the outside. But once if
Man, I
Andy
can't
manages
wait
to
to
get
play
in and not
Clint.
die, we'll see it's actually still relatively intact. So those aim robots are
Okay.
basically just, as Nicole mentioned, they're defending the area, but there's really nothing of strategic value other than what the Avengers are coming to get here, which is, I mean, it's a little spoilery, but they're looking for some data on the Kree, and again,
Ooh.
we'll go into more details about how that fits into the whole pack, but there's obviously a vested interest in learning from this imperfect future and preparing for it in the present.
Wow. Okay. Is it a bad thing to hope for a potential Kree Sentry boss in future
I
wastelands?
mean, we can even just like give an overview of like what
tough to
happened.
say, Jake, tough to say.
From, sorry,
Keep
when
the
I'm
top
talking, I just
left,
run
new-
around in
new
circles.
objectives?
That's what I do.
Quiet
like,
Kree battle
what
data.
happened from Kate's operation till here, Nicole? Like, what are the important parts that people should, like, think about when they're starting this operation?
Go up,
So
Andy.
basically, there's not a ton of time that passes in between the two. They really are like a double feature. So at the end of Kate, we saw through the time bridge, the future Kree invasion that Monica was trying to stop and Ethereum was trying
Holy
to stop.
fuck, man! I want to play
and
this
then,
so bad.
We finally have Clint back, and there's that scene in the common area where they're all talking. And
Okay.
telling you what you saw.
So you go
saying
down,
that
obviously.
Basically, their goal now is to prepare for this future Kree invasion and make sure that they are ready for it. And then right after that, he passes out, and then in the time after that, before we start Future Perfect, Clint has been in
3 centuries.
sort of tachyon-induced coma. So you'll see, if you go visit Clint, actually right now, if you go visit him in the mirror, you'll see these kind of tachyon glitches around him. And then Future Perfect picks up right there. So I'll show you exactly what happened after Clint went into his coma.
Nice.
Two questions we're getting. Hey Scott, can you just briefly tell people about what we're doing for adaptive triggers on PS5?
Maestro isn't even the final boss, right?
I
think
tried
he.
to reply in chat, but obviously they're going by so
No.
fast.
Totally fast.
Yeah.
Do it live.
Yeah,
I don't know,
so
actually.
we use the adaptive triggers as part of that haptic feedback for how different weapons and abilities feel. There's also an option to adjust the strength or sensitivity of that stuff, so you can make sure it's still comfortable for you to use. If it's it's an accessibility option, right? So if it's not to your liking or if it's too strong, you can adjust to fit your needs.
It feels really good. Like, it actually feels like, I'm not even just saying that. It feels like I'm drawing a bow.
Yeah, we use the triggers to try and simulate some of that stuff. So, getting the feel of the gun pulls on the triggers, right? Or, drawing the string back. So, we try and use that as best we can to try and simulate some of that stuff.
It
and
sucks
then
that, like,
also make each
Andy's stream
sort of
quality
option
isn't that
feel
great.
a
I'm sure
bit
mine
unique and
isn't. So like,
different.
we don't really see like
Yeah,
the
like,
full
when you're
detail of like all this
drawing the
like
bow, it, like,
environment,
vibrates
but it
when
looks
it's,
so
all the
good
way drawn
regardless.
like
You know.
that. So it actually feels like it. I
Love his
it.
swordplay. Dude, that's
What
so
was your other question, Phil?
sick.
I feel like the other question was for Nicole. I'm trying to find.
I am
I'm
seeing
not
one
sure.
thing in the comments a lot, which is people referring to Hulk's jump and how they would like him to pounce across the entire level. I hear that feedback. I do. I think it's something we have to think about. We have metrics in our game, and things get a little interesting, but I hear the idea, and I see where it's coming from. So your voice is heard. Trust me.
But what would beating Maestro do? I wouldn't say the future being the Krees will save us. Yeah, I think you're right that Maestro is probably gonna be like a mid part of the DLC.
Nicole, what was your favorite
There's
part
still
about?
so much about this that we don't know.
The team's favorite part
Which
about
is
like,
exciting.
writing the future and
It's exciting.
storyline.
They're playing with the
Yeah,
PS5
without
upgrade
spoilers.
regular.
Without spoilers.
This is the next gen version. We're playing next gen
We're
PS5.
asking jerk
Hawkeye himself, you guys are, you're just messing with me. I think Hawkeye himself is really fun. Just a fun character, and his voice is really entertaining. Keanu over at Nixie's, he wrote a lot of Clint. And for me, it was just really fun getting the script back and laughing at all
Uh-oh.
these awesome
Don't
jokes.
die, Andy.
Nice. And he has elevator banter, right?
Yes, he does. It is my favorite, but I won't spoil what it is. I'll let you guys experience it for yourselves.
Everyone loves elevator banter.
We love writing it. It's a lot of fun.
All right, Nicole. Riffian wants to know if you're gonna explain why Clint suddenly has hair and band-aids.
So, things get weird with time travel.
I know, right? Like, some days you have hair, some days you don't.
And you're like, when did my hair grow back? How long have I been asleep?
Yeah, I mean,
know.
we've all experienced time travel before, like every single one of us. So we just, you guys understand.
Maybe Ronan would be the big bad of the Kree storyline. Ronan would be a cool villain.
I mean, I
I think
know.
Maestro's
you
not gonna
know,
be the final
just
boss because the trailer said something about the
my
storm.
hair grew in
It's
time travel
possible.
of lockdown.
I said no spills.
Look, it's a genuine Kree eyeball.
It would make sense with the dialogue just now.
I saw a question before that
Sorry I'm not
asks about
catching all your
Lucky's
guys'
role in the
chat, guys.
story. I feel like that's kind of spoilery, but is there anything that's super not spoilery?
The thing that you already spoiled before
I know.
in previous videos.
I know, I spoiled that, but
Lucky is here. He's adorable. You can pet him. I think we've said that before.
we did, yeah. Oh wait, where am I going?
Is important.
Where am I going? There we go.
Nicole may not want to hang out with us after this.
I know. Hey Nicole, can you talk to us about your job without talking to us about your job?
You tell me about the story, but don't tell me.
When you write things, you use letters, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's safe.
My bad, guys. I just
but
want you to hear my
what was
typing.
without spoiling again, what was like the most challenging thing about writing Clint and the narrative around him?
I mean, I think it's always tricky with time travel. I mean,
I want to see if they're going to show... I know there's...
dealing
As
with
far as
different
I know,
timelines
there's
is
one costume they
always
haven't shown off yet.
narratively difficult.
I think.
But I think with Clint,
New objectives? Yeah.
I mean, he's a lot more straightforward. I'm trying not to spoil anything.
I know.
They're trying so hard not to
he
spoil
has
something.
a
I wonder
very
how
clear
deep this
goal,
story is going to go.
Once he gets into the wasteland, and so I think that made it feel very driven and focused.
This looks so good, man.
Other than that, the
I
most
keep saying that, but
difficult
it's just like... Look, is that
thing, I think just trying to get
Sentry's
that
head?
relationship between
No way.
Kate and Clint.
Pan up, Andy. Let me
put a lot
see.
of work into that, and I think the way Keanu has written him is spot on.
Did you guys see that the
It
head?
turned out really well.
I just wall climbed. Yeah, Clint can wall climb.
Yeah, so obviously, like I said, we pulled inspiration from his time as Ronin. So he's very agile. He can wall run, and he can chain that with his grapple arrows to really get around. So.
Yeah, we missed that in the harm room thing, but there we go.
I wasn't sure if Scott was going to drop that or not, but there you go.
Part of me wanted it to be a surprise, but then I just did it right there, and I was like, oh well. There
All
it is.
All
On the
good.
fly. On the fly.
Your instincts took over.
My instinct. I was like, I want to show him the wall run. Here we go.
Will there be free
Oh,
roam?
look up.
Not
in here,
anytime
Andy.
soon, but it
right
has
now?
said something to stay
Yeah.
tuned about. So
I mean,
it's
you know,
something they
don't
look like
die
they
of
may
it.
in the end,
Honestly.
but not anytime soon.
Okay, I'm looking up.
Yeah, the
Oh,
head.
look at the thing.
Yeah, let me get a better view of it. Close your eyes if you don't want spoilers, everyone. I know a lot of people want to explore this on their own, but
That's crazy. Can we get up there? I wonder if there's like a
That's
chest
so
hidden
cool.
up there.
That's pretty cool.
Phil, Nicole, do you guys like? Oh, I'm about to lose. Do you guys work together on like building a narrative and building a war zone out? I know you guys do, but like, is that something that you guys always think about when building out a war zone?
I mean, for
Yeah.
me, it was a really tight collaboration between design and narrative. I know Keanu worked a lot with the designers and the artists to make sure that we were telling, a story through both the environment and the dialogue. So I think especially in these, there's a lot of environmental storytelling going on, and you can kind of piece together what happened.
Yeah, and that mission fits more cohesively with everything else that's going on, right? So it's the future imperfect. Like, we have an opportunity to go there and actually get something that the factions care about in the present. So rather than just say, hey, go here and beat up some robots, there's actually a bit of a backstory to why you're here and what you're getting out of that. So that's something that we're trying to do a lot more of with the content that we're building, so that you understand
That's
how
cool.
that content fits in sort of like the events of what's going on in different releases.
That's nice. I actually really like that. It's not just like, obviously it's still mindlessly grinding in some respects, but obviously when you go in there, there's a narrative behind kind of everything going on, which is cool. I like that.
Some people asked, yes, the narrator in this mission is Roy instead of Jarvis.
Spoilers.
No.
What?
It was on there. It was on the
can
screen.
I mean, they can hear him. I mean, it shows his name. He's like, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
Do you think they're more open to
I'm gonna
communication
get in
after all the
trouble for a
complaints?
lot of other things. That will not be one of them.
Yes and
No.
no. Yes and no. Will Modok ever come back? Yes. What's up, Kyler? How you doing, man?
Oh.
Thanks to everyone for hanging out
This
today,
mouse-
guys.
I cut this one
Appreciate
real
you guys. Only I don't like is we're fighting more robots. I mean, that's true.
You can do it, Andy. You can do it.
Eventually,
I believe in
we're
you.
not gonna be fighting robots.
I didn't practice
It
this
is-
level whatsoever. That's why I'm,
the robot thing will end soon
this
enough.
is improv.
Maybe we'll get to a point in the game's life
Yeah.
where we're all missing the robots. Maybe. Maybe
Although
not.
I do love Clint. I've been playing him for a while now. So it's great.
I come home to this. Yo, what's up, Jedi? Are they going to redo the Iron Man skin and just release Bean and Saccharine? I don't think so, Mo. I don't think so. I think if anything, they may release like another one. But I think, I don't think they've ever said like they're gonna like redo his skin or whatever, other than like maybe like a glitch with like hairstyles or whatever. So like Unworthy Thor and King Hulk. But I don't think they've ever
You
come
will
out and
fight
said like,
Maestro, but we're gonna leave. We're not gonna show that whatsoever
darn.
during this stream.
We're bold, but we're not that
That's no
bold.
Yeah,
Kree. They have said that it's hinted who the
I
the
think
big bad
Nicole
is.
Keanu
So
wrote
I-
like a lot of the Maestro's lines. And
So I
everything,
would
right?
say it is Kree. Yeah.
He wrote a lot of this story, pretty much.
Next
Okay,
year
I'm
everyone's
just
gonna be
gonna
new
give
number.
credit
Who's
for
this
all
over
of
Plant?
Aw. Is he
But, yeah,
watching?
did it- probably.
Hi, Keanu.
Do you think we will get weapon
So,
skins to match
there's
characters'
the
outfits? I hope so, David.
Um,
That's the one thing I really want
Yeah,
personally.
he did a lot of
That's
this.
the one thing
and it really
I am
turned
dying
out
for, honestly.
great.
As like a personal
Yeah.
want that I
It's
want, it's like
fantastic,
weapon
especially,
skins that
like,
match the
just-
costumes.
Clint's lines, he cracks me up all the time.
Like I want World War II Cap to have like the World
this
War
is a
II shield.
beautiful
That's
area.
something I've been kind of beating the drums on myself.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
This is so sick, man.
That was
Ask
really
them about
fun
the
to
Kree.
work on those spaces.
I can't. I don't. I wish I had a direct line
And
to
this is
them.
actually a good example of. So it's a new biome, absolutely. It's basically like a layer on top of what you've seen in Utah, with of course a lot of new assets. But
Can they speed up movement?
that's the kind of thing that we can do while we're preparing completely new biomes.
Of, like,
which
traversal,
obviously
you
is
mean,
something we're
Grace?
working on. I'm not allowed to talk about. Already in trouble. But it was really fun to do this because I feel like it makes a really cool, makes a good visual difference, and it's fun to go in a new space and see some new stories.
Was that a Kree warship? Where, buddy? What did I
And no,
miss?
Rickon, I don't model anything. I could barely draw a stick figure.
I want to see his awesome
That's not an
skins.
exaggeration either.
Same. I feel like that might be something
Yeah,
where
I'm a
I
designer,
can't
not an
tell.
artist.
It's all. Oh, you mean the back there?
Well,
back
AJ's
left?
here.
AJ's kind of an artist.
It's a
Can I-
good point. I can animate, but I'm not.
When
the
he runs
best
in the
at
open, he just
drawing.
look
I can
old or
do,
something?
Like the stick figures to get lines of actions. And
I think that might be something I see a little bit. I think some of you guys mentioned that too.
It gets,
Loki, yeah, we'll see Loki again soon.
that's okay.
Phil said they're working on new
Fine.
enemy types now. Do you guys want me to pull up Phil's chat logs? We can go through everything Phil said. The crash ship he
I
showed.
had someone in a past stream ask how hard it is to animate so many characters and like what's the nuances from doing that. I think you already talked about this, but I was playing at the same time, so I couldn't hear. But did you talk about that yet, AJ?
Not really. No, we more talked about just Kate and Hawkeye.
Okay.
That's actually a good question. What's it like to animate all of the different heroes,
Yeah,
basically?
and like your favorite part, I think it was.
Alright, guys, give me one
Ari,
sec. I'm gonna keep this running. Just give me one sec. I'll be right
asked
back.
that, like a while ago, and I was like, you know what? I'll get an animator in here.
That's a really good question. I mean, it's awesome. It's just really challenging. Basically, you want them all to feel really unique. But as Walter said, they're all on like a similar backbone, so to speak. So it's just, it's just a constant challenge. You sit there and you figure out what makes them them, essentially, and then how to capture that in 3D space. So again, mocap actors are very helpful, and that's why we leverage them, because they have natural movement in their body, and we all move differently. So there's a lot of intricacies there. But yeah, high level, I'd say it's challenging, and it's also a lot of fun. So it's kind of what keeps the,
I did not
the
have to
job
take
fresh, so to speak, because it's almost a new challenge every time you come to a new hero.
Will we get MCU skins in the future? Yeah, it's a licensing.
I know
thing.
you guys did
People
not
have
see
issues
me.
with your accuracy. maybe.
It's a
I
licensing
usually
thing when it comes
aim
to
with
the
like a
MCU
mouse
stuff.
and keyboard,
Eventually,
so aiming
yes.
with a controller is a little,
Eventually.
little unfamiliar with me.
Excuses.
I know it is really excuses. You guys didn't see that though, okay? None of you saw that.
Oh, I miss Andy.
So a lot of
embarrassing
people are
himself again?
asking if you can show the
You didn't miss
menu
anything? Okay,
and if
cool,
we're
cool,
going to
cool.
show some Clint skins.
Ooh, yeah.
We are not going to show Clint skins. We showed a lot of them on social media already.
Andy?
But we do want some of them to be surprises for you
Which
guys.
means
for
there
you
are
guys to
some that you
discover.
guys haven't seen yet,
But
yes.
we are going to reveal another, not reveal, but show another Clint skin over the weekend.
Will Clint be able to hit every shot as long as you don't
look out on our
miss?
channels for that. But we showed Ronin.
Have they dropped any hints
Time
about who's
Lost,
next? No, James. I think
Ultimate,
that's going to
Iron
be
Eye, this one day off, iconic,
the
and we're going
18th.
to show another one tomorrow on social. So
It's going to be the 18th.
yeah. What was your other question, Phil? I don't even remember it.
It's...
The menu, like the different
menu?
menus.
Oh yeah, the menus.
Well, because I think
in this
people saw
build.
the character screen at the beginning, so I think that's what they were referring to.
Play Avenger kind of
But we already showed it.
showed a lot of the menus have changed.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to the helicarrier.
Are you going to actually play the game today?
Yeah,
No,
different
not
character
today.
Lineup.
Oh yeah.
Monday, Monday
And a different
I'll be
background
playing the
looks
game.
pretty cool.
And yes, Hawkeye has his own loading screen. We always put
cool.
those in there. Since we're at like 3 o'clock,
Clint might have more skins
this
than any other
might
hero at
be
this
the
point.
end, or the, close
possible.
to the end as I travel to the
Have they talked about
helicarrier.
improving traversal?
I think
The only thing
so.
they said is that the animator
here we
who's on
are.
has said that he's heard feedback about
Yeah.
the Hulk
Center the
stuff,
camera a little
but
bit so
they're
you
looking
know,
at internal metrics that
Clint
they
is
have
right in the
regarding
middle.
traversal, and then they'll make a determination on the Hulk stuff. But it is something that he said
and we
they've
are
heard. It's
going
just a matter
to-
of they got to.
Look,
Like,
we're not going to
determine-
show Lucky. Is Lucky actually here? No.
I like how you say
Keep saying
that
Green makes me
question.
wonder about Captain Marvel.
If you're asking me, I'm going to tell
And
you
he's looking at
exactly where
Peter?
Lucky is. Then we're both get in trouble.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's
Phil's on a roll today.
Yeah, no, Lucky's not in this. I mean, I know where he is, but he's not in. Yeah. That's for you guys to explore. It is less than a week. Let me actually switch over to the correct screen.
I think that might be
Although
it,
our
guys.
positioning might be like.
Oh yeah, and
I
when
want
you
more
play the
comic accurate
Wasteland,
skins?
everybody
I
acts
think everyone
surprised
does,
like you
Deadeye.
didn't show
I
it
think
to you on
everyone
the
does.
stream. That way, it stays in the family. No one gets in trouble.
Yeah, so you guys, all you streamers, when you get to that Wasteland level,
Wonder
you're
what
gonna be like,
Spider-Man skins will be
"Wow, I've
like.
never seen
Hopefully
this
good.
before."
Hopefully good.
Right? Yeah, okay.
There's so much involvement from the
What
crew. Hope the human
Wasteland?
storylines and bands. is still
Everybody
best.
practice
This
practice
is
your
Point,
surprise
Jake.
face.
That's a good point. You know.
There we go. What Wasteland? What is this?
I mean, it
Yeah,
does seem like
exactly.
it may move
all right.
Exactly.
away
Part of
from
me
the
want- I-
humans.
Let me see if this
It's
host
over?
screen.
It might be.
Okay, no, we're gonna have to do this just talking to you guys.
Okay.
So thank you guys for coming. That's the end of this. We're gonna go
What
around
was
the
your favorite
circle.
MCU skins?
Scott, anything you want to say to the community watching?
I
Favorite
hope you
MCU
guys really
skins?
enjoyed the combat for Hawkeye.
I don't know, man. Iron Spider is
AJ.
pretty cool. Winter Soldier Cap's pretty cool.
Yeah, echo what he said. We put a lot of time into
You know,
him. I hope you
obviously,
really
if
enjoy him, and
MCU
he
stuff is
feels
kind of
kick
done and taken care of, the
ass.
licensing
Hopefully that's
before
not too
Winter
much of a
Soldier
curse
comes
word.
out.
Oh well, I said it.
Bucky
Whoa,
from
whoa,
Winter
whoa.
Soldier
You
became
can't
cool as a
just say
skin.
ass willy-nilly on stream.
And
Ronan's
then,
a cool one. We don't see a lot
I
of
guess
Ronan,
just,
but
you know,
Ronan could,
stay with
you know,
us
MCU
on the
Ronan.
journey of this game as
How can we
continue
replay the
to move
campaign?
forward. We hear
It'll
all
be
the
available on
feedback,
the 18th, and
and
it'll be like a button you
we're
just hit on the
trying
main
to make
menu, and it'll
that
just
same
reset
game
it,
that
and
everybody
you're just good to go.
wants and hopes it can be. So just stay with us. We're all in it to win it. So
Yeah, Nicole.
Yeah, there's a lot of care and attention put into this pack, and we're really excited for everyone to get to play it so we can actually talk about spoilers. I hope you all go pet Lucky because he's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
The bestest, the goodest boy. Phil.
Super excited for you guys to play all that new content. Obviously, we're working on a lot more. I'm even more excited to tell you guys about all the new things that are coming, and some of that you'll actually hear about in the near future. You know, I hate to say near future, but nobody allows me to say that. Anyways, you'll hear about cool new stuff soon. So I'm stoked. Enjoy the Wastelands, and I know there's a bunch of burning questions on Reddit and all that stuff. So we're working on getting you guys some answers. So I know it's taking a little bit of time, but we want to make sure we get all that stuff right. So you're heard. Even if we haven't gotten through everything, just know that we're working on it, and we're trying to get you the information that you want. So we're on it.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Are they adding much skins? Clint is going to have a lot of skins.
Reminder, Hawkeye, Future Imperfect.
Do you think each of the original 6 Avengers should have their own story? Iconic missions, yeah. I would like to see more iconic missions for them.
On the 18th, that is next Thursday. Well, I guess it's technically this Thursday, right? I don't know. Depends on how you guys
Yeah.
talk about your weeks. I don't know. Tune into Square Enix Presents
Yes.
on the 18th,
Yes.
and we'll see you next time, everyone. Thank you so much.
Hey, Marfo.
Later, guys.
See ya. Thanks.
All right, guys. All right. Whew. All right. What did we all think about that? I'm gonna try and pull up Phil's chat logs while you guys talk. But what did you guys think of the Hawkeye showcase? Give me your thoughts on that, guys. This one. Perfect. All right. Will we make a video about this streaming? Yeah, I will. I'm not done yet, though. You guys are just gonna have to give me a little bit here. I'm going to pull Phil's chat logs from today, and we're going to see what exactly he said. So you guys are just gonna have to give me a second here, and we are going to see exactly what this man had hyped up in the chat. Okay. So I want chat downloader. I want this one. Oh, my program just died. Uh-oh, hold on. 1 second. This one. Boom. It keeps dying on me. Maybe I won't be able to do this today. Yeah. So obviously next Thursday, guys, obviously, you know, everyone's going to be playing a lot of Clint, but they are doing so Square Enix, however you guys want to bully me on how to pronounce it. They're doing a stream, and a lot of people have teased that it's going to be a lot of new information. So this isn't going to be like just a recap of the Hawkeye stuff. This is going to be pretty much a recap, or not a recap, a look into the future. So yeah, my program keeps dying. So let me see. Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't pull up his chat logs. So usually how I do it, I can just kind of show you guys. I have a program here, and then I go to chat downloader, and then I paste and it just dies. So it just worked for me for the Crystal PR guy stuff. I don't know why it's not working now, but I'm not gonna kind of, you know, drag it on. Maybe I'll do a video on it. I might do a video on it, depending on what he said. I know Leafy was saying he was going pretty hard in the chat there. But if you guys are interested, man, the 18th, next Thursday, obviously it's gonna be a bunch of Clint stuff. Obviously, we're gonna do the Square Enix Present stuff. We're gonna see a lot of stuff next week, man. Need to nail it next Thursday. I agree. What do you think we'll see? Anything other than Black Panther and Spider-Man? Maybe Captain Marvel. His core combat looks like Kate's with some tweaks. I think his skills really separate him and Kate like a lot. The skills of Clint look amazing. Please do. He was dropping big news so casually. Was he actually? My man was out here dropping news in a Twitch chat? Are you serious? All right, hold on. All right. You guys are making me curious now how hard I should try and get his chat. Thank you. I'll just throw him on bed for now. All right, let me see. Full dynamics. No, I can't pull it up from there either. All right, you guys are gonna have to let me work on this a little bit tonight, and I will definitely get it though for real. Also, we get Dark Avengers Hawkeye outfit too. Wonder if the 18th will reveal a roadmap. Okay, so here's what I think about the 18th, guys. I think the 18th is going to be a mix of two things. Obviously, the Square Enix presents. You guys, I'm never going to pronounce it right. It's going to be like probably like a showcase of like Wakanda. I would imagine maybe like a Wakanda or like a Captain Marvel tease are going to be in there. But I think after that, I would not be surprised to see like a roadmap blog post after. It just, to me, it lines up perfectly with them saying they're going to announce future content. And then obviously right after that, they're going to be like, okay, so now that we've, you know, announced Black Panther or whatever, now let's kind of drop the news on like the full roadmap. It makes too much sense. And I've seen too many people who have tweeted about this to kind of make me think that it's nothing more than, you know, I've seen people kind of die down the hype a little saying it's going to be Clint. I think the 18th is going to be a lie because I think at the end of Hawkeye's DLC, you're going to get a teaser for Black Panther anyways. So to me, it just makes sense to get ahead of the hype and join in on the hype of Future Imperfect to kind of tease everything else coming. So, yeah. How can we replay the campaign? The replay of the campaign will be on the 18th, man. There's a video on this channel. All the news you've missed. There's a bunch of stuff there. But on the 18th, when you're in the main menu, you just hit a button and you'll be good to go. I think Spider-Man is going to come next. I mean, the one thing about Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man in particular is, since it's a Sony exclusive, Sony's going to want the marketing rights for that. So I would imagine Sony is going to want to talk about Spider-Man, you know? I think Spider-Man's obviously going to be on the roadmap, but I don't think he's going to get revealed next week. Will we get Silver Centurion? There was a Silver Centurion, I almost want to say a month back, Spider-Man. Like a month ago, there was a Silver Centurion skin, and like it was by far probably the best skin they've ever released, man. You just have to wait for it to make a return. It was so good. Like the Silver Centurion skin Spider-Man, it was so good, man. Can you replay a DLC also, or only main campaign? That's a great question, Morgan. Is it all of it? I think there's all of it. I know they've hyped up the reassemble campaign, but I feel like they've dropped that you can do you can do the other ones too. I feel like they've said that somewhere. I might have to go back and look on it. You might have to hold on to that question for a little bit, Morgan. And I'll have to do some digging for you just to make sure. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. When is the next state of play for PS5? Good question. State of plays are usually like every quarter, no? State of plays usually happen every 3 to 4 months, I think. So we just had one. How many weeks ago? It was like 3 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago. So I wouldn't expect a state of play anytime soon. But with that being said, you never know with Sony, right? Sony, PlayStation, they can just drop whatever. Phil straight up said they're working on new enemy types now. That's all I need to hear. I'm grinding for like 6 hours tonight. Hey, there you go, Micah. You can replay Kate's campaigns in the operations. Oh, can you? Okay, I'm going to be honest. I haven't replayed it. So if you can already replay it, then obviously, then it's just to reassemble. Okay. They say you replay the campaign and the DLC. Okay. Hey, bro, just came back from the stream. All good, Carson. Are they going to add new missions? Of course. Of course. Of course. Or Black Panther and include the skin as well. Yeah, I think we'll get a Black Panther stuff next week, guys. I think Black Panther is a lock for next week because I think we're going to see him in game anyways. So I wouldn't worry too much. If you're holding on to Black Panther, guys, I would say next week we'll give you guys Black Panther. And like I said, guys, if you guys were here for the deep dive, I was very upset that they weren't doing anything to do with Black Panther. And it all kind of makes sense now why. Because it seems like this had to be tied in with the Square Enix event. Which it's really weird that they're releasing the DLC on the same day as the event. But, I mean, I don't know. They all get paid more money than me, so, you know. You think content is going to start coming faster? Ideally. They're not working on the next-gen upgrade. They're not working on the reassemble campaign. The replay of that. Ideally, now that they have some more hands freed up, they can start working on some other stuff post-campaign, post-DLCs now, and they can start bringing out stuff faster. So, hopefully. When are likely be for Storm to be an NBC when Wakanda eventually tries? I don't think they've mentioned mutants at all in universe. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, actually. That's a good question. I mean, I don't think it's likely, but I think maybe down the line. Do you think we'll get Cloning Labs and Omega level updates during the event? In terms of like the Square Enix stuff, no, but I think they have said that 1.5 does have some multiplayer fixes. So if all goes well, then it's probably not too far behind 60s. The anticipation is killing me. Will we get War Machine? I know he's in the files, but that might be a question more for Miller than me. I know Miller has said he hasn't seen any significant work being done on War Machine in a while. But yeah, that's a Miller question. How many villains in the Hawkeye DLC? Right now, just confirmed the one for Maestro. But there's still so much of the Hawkeye DLC narratively that we don't know. Rumor is last mission of Kate's campaign with Hawkeye AI. If you have a full team of Power 150, apparently the Super Adaptoid fight is different. Oh, really? Oh, crap. Okay. That's going to be something to check out then, Jedi. I appreciate that, dude. When do you think Spider-Man is coming? PS Store says early 2021. I mean, it's March. I mean, next month. Like, when do people think early 2021 ends? For me, early 2021 ends probably around April. So, next month. Really think it's cosmic based? Yeah, it's where the story's going. Magic Storm is a playable character. God, I can only dream. Wish Capcom was still making Marvel games. Yeah, I wish Capcom and Marvel still had a good relationship. Even though like Infinite wasn't the greatest, I still wish Capcom still had a good relationship with Marvel. Want different weapons like Stormbreaker and respectable color swaps and things like that. Yeah, Darth, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Weapons that match the skins, I'm totally with you on that one. Do you think we'd ever visit the Avengers Tower, go set a helicopter? Yes, Avengers Tower eventually. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way that we don't take back the Avengers Tower. It's just I think narratively it's something that has to happen. It's just a matter of where do you fit that in, you know? Only reason I say this because Black Panther and Storm were married in the comics. Yep. And after separation, she's gone back to help Wakanda on multiple occasions. So yeah, true enough. It would be interesting. I wouldn't say hold your breath on Storm appearing next week, sorry, in Wakanda, but obviously with that relationship there in the comics, it is something that maybe they could pull a string on. Would be something to see happen to the vendor. Yeah, I mean, Darth, I think I've talked a little bit about what I think the marketplace rework and the vendor rework are going to look overall. But it would be interesting to see recolors go to the vendor, you know. Hope Shuri makes an appearance in Wakanda. She probably will, Matthew. She probably will when April starts, to be honest. Okay. Avengers Tower is in the game, so we'll be surprised if you do go to it. Yeah, it's a matter of time for that one, buddy. I need Wolverine. Can we play as Taskmaster? I mean, would people like to play as Taskmaster? Isn't Avengers Tower currently a name tower right now? Yeah. I feel these DLCs leaning towards a seasonal event, a la Destiny 2, but pertaining to the Kree and hopefully Skrulls war. That'd be cool. Marvel vs. Capcom 4 straight up kill every active fighting game right now. I would play it. Well, when Captain Marvel and Marvel expansions will go to the Kree home planet. That'd be cool. Is Kree going to be a villain in the future? Yes. All right, guys. So here's what's going to happen for the rest of the night. Unfortunately, I can't pull Phil's chat logs. So I will do my best to pull his chat logs, and I'll try to post them somewhere. And we'll try to do that. Are they working on new enemy types? Yes, they are. Phil had said in the chat that they are actively working on new enemy types right now. So, yeah. So, guys, this is going to be it for me here. I'm going to go try to work on the program. I'm going to try and going to eat my dinner. What's going to happen later, guys, if any of you guys are still around, I know Miller is actively watching the dev stream right now. He's messaged me. He's asked me if I would go on later on just to kind of talk about some things. So if you guys are interested, I'll be on Miller's stream probably in a little bit here. If you guys want to stay up to date on that, make sure you follow at AssembleCast on Twitter. And I'll be there. If you guys are interested in hanging out here again, I'll be live again on Monday evening, 7 p.m., where we'll be playing some Avengers. If you guys are on PlayStation, PS4, PS5, I do have an Xbox coming. So I'm going to be playing on Xbox soon. We'll probably do another night dedicated to Xbox. And we'll be doing some Xbox stuff for anyone who has an Xbox. I've seen you guys around, and you guys have said, you know that you'd like to play, but you have an Xbox. So that will be happening soon. But yeah, appreciate you guys all hanging out today, man. You guys all always come out and support and hang out and chit chat. And at the end of this, guys, or at the YouTube channel, if you guys want to hang out in the Discord, I do have a Discord where we hang out. We just chat about the game. Feel free to click that link. It should be in the description. It should be on the channel page. You guys are always more than welcome to come hang out with us there. And yeah, once again, guys, thank you guys. This will be a video after. If anyone's wanting to watch this again, this will be a video. This will be a VOD. It's got to close down, and they got to switch it over, so don't worry about that. And yeah, if you guys are, like I said, if you guys are new here and you like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button. It all helps. And I'll see you guys next time. All right. So thank you guys so much. And if I see you on Miller's stream, or if I see you Monday or in the Discord, thank you guys so much again. And I'll see you guys later on. All right. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you later. This was fun. Just 6 more days. 6 more days, Jake. 6 more days. I'll see you guys later.